The daily big three is a really important part of many people's back rehab. However, for a lot of people, when they start, getting on and off the ground is just so hard, it doesn't seem worth it. So here's a modification for you. If the daily big three is more than what you're able to do, here's your modified daily big three. Do this until you can get to the floor and do the regular big three. The first of the regular big three is a modified curl up. We're going to modify that by doing a forward facing wall plank. So when we do that, we're going to have our forearms on the wall like this, and we're going to have our legs back on toes. Now, when we look at someone doing this, gravity is wanting this to happen. So your abdominal wall is preventing that. It's very important that your mouth is shut and you breathe through your nose when you do this. Most people who have these kinds of problems learn to stabilize with air pressure without breathing. It's okay to use air pressure, but you also have to breathe. So make sure your mouth is closed and you're breathing. You're trying to be a straight line, ear, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, and there you stay. If you want to make it harder, you go further out. If you want to make it easier, come closer in. Those are the modifications. What I'm asking for is your first goal is 30 seconds. If you can get that, second goal is a minute. Third goal is for a minute to feel unremarkable to you. Not that you got it, you're like, whew, that was really hard, but yep, it's a minute, I'm ready to go and I feel totally fine. When that's the case, hopefully you're ready to take it to the floor. The second exercise of the daily big three is the side plank. And again, in this case, we're going to do a side plank against the wall to make it easier so that we don't have to get on and off the floor. We're going to be in a forearm position against the wall. Now, I'm about to be weight bearing through my shoulder, so it's very important that I have this movement, not here, but here, to protect my shoulder, to help all of these muscles be ready to handle the load of weight bearing, because they're very capable of it, but they're not used to it. So make sure you're not here, you're pushing the wall away from you first. And then you just get as far away as you feel you can. You just take your outside leg and put it in front, and it will be relatively comfortable for you. Of course, gravity's wanting that to happen, so a lot of your torso muscles are working to hold you here. And just like with the other one, if you get a little bit further away, it'll be a little bit harder. But there comes a certain point in time where you feel like you're gonna fall, so obviously be safe about it. But there's your side plank modification in standing, so we don't have to get to the floor. The third exercise of the daily big three is the bird dog. A terrific exercise, but again, got to get on and off the floor. And right now we're deciding that that's not really worth it for us. So if we have to do a modification of that, we're going to do it in standing. And here's what we're going to do. Again, it's a cross-body pattern, so you're going to think about, if I was on all fours, I'd have one knee and one hand on the ground, and the other hand and the other leg would be doing something. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to have my right leg on the ground. My left hand is going to be pretending to be on the ground. I'm making a fist with it. And then with my right hand and left leg, I'm going to move them like this to make my muscles on the back side of my body, from my left butt cheek to my right shoulder blade, work in harmony. The important thing is that I'm moving them a small amount, activating those muscles, but not moving my body. It's a stability challenge. So when I turn sideways to the camera, what you don't want to see is a lot of movement of my torso. What you want to see is my torso locked in, and I'm going to do it like that. So it's a small movement of my arm and leg, and I'm trying to make it no movement of my body. Just like the other ones, breathe through your nose with your mouth closed. You're going to find that if you have trouble with these, you're going to hold your breath and bear down. That is not a reliable way to stabilize, because sooner or later you got to breathe, and then all that pressure goes away. So close your mouth, breathe through your nose, and help your core figure out how to create stability with breathing instead of stability or breathing. And continue to work on these things. I ask people to do 30 each way with this, because we definitely want to get you to the floor. All of these exercises are better when you can interact with the ground. So work really hard on these modified ones where we're upright, and we'll get you to the ground soon enough.